yeah, and I fancied him so much. Like, sweet Emmanuel she went on to Game of Thrones. Anyway, so we got to the Hollyoaks set, we were at the actual school, and like, you go around to put a tampon in. Forgot to put a tampon in. Hello honeys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're just joining me now, then hi, my name's Imogen. Thank you so much for finding me. I don't know how you found me, but please definitely stay. Today I'm back with another story time. You guys really liked my other one. I love doing story times. I feel like things just happen to me that I'm meant to tell a story about. Today is going to be the story time about how I was nearly in a massive Nickelodeon show and also maybe potentially cast for Hollyoaks. So it's a double casting, which I will explain completely in this video. Very exciting, lots of different details, so we will get into it. However, I've just got to tell you these little story times that happened to me in one day. So like, no one understands. Sorry, by the way, I've got the door open, so if you can hear noise from the outside, it's because it's sweltering, I'm sweating, perspiring, whatever you want me to say, Grandma. She always says we don't sweat as women, darling, we perspire. That's what Grandma says, she loves it, Grandma Delia. But I'm not complaining because I love the heat, I love the sun makes me happy. Charlie, come into Mummy then. I'll put him on the sofa in a second. I'm looking after my dad's dog and that's a whole nother story. I had to shut the door because it actually got really loud. I've put Charlie on the sofa, but he's gonna jump down. It's gonna be all fun and games. Spencer's at the gym, let's just not talk about it. I've just got to tell you these two mini stories that happened to me in one day because I genuinely think these little things happen to everyone, but I'm meant to share them. First thing, I'm sat down Brighton Churchill Square, I've gone into town, Spencer's watching Renee while she sleeps, so she has like a 2-hour nap in the afternoon. Spencer can be here while I go and do some work bits. Didn't want to drag her into town, she was asleep. So I'm in town and I'm messaging Spencer like, is she awake yet? And he was like, no, she's not awake yet, so why don't you just go and chill, you've done your work, like, why don't you just go and enjoy the sun? So I was like, had these veggie crisps, love them, these little straws, oh, so good. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and sit by Churchill Square, watch the world go by, and then this guy comes over to me and he's like trying to sell me this wristband. He's like, you're right, like your dress is so nice. I was like, listen, hun, love you. Whatever you're selling, you're amazing, but I don't want to waste your time. And he was like, no, mate, like talk to me about your dress. I was like, I know you only, in my head I was like, I know you only want to talk to me about the dress because you want to get a sale. And he knew that, so I went, listen, I get no time just sitting here on my own. I'm not going to give you a sale, so I'm really sorry. Please don't waste your time on me. Go and get your sale from someone else. And he was like, all right, chill. And I was like, legend. If I had to be honest with him, I wasn't going to buy whatever he was selling, so I'm just going to be honest and say, I just wanted 5 minutes peace. You go and make your sale. Job's a good 'un. Because I never want to be rude, but then also I don't want to pretend I'm going to buy something when I'm probably not, because I didn't want a wristband. Okay, so then I'm sat there and I'm like just chilling, you know, eating these veggie crisps, and I'm really enjoying them. And I'm on my phone to my manager messaging or voice noting, and I'm eating the veggie crisps were here in my bag, and I'm hiding them because I know what seagulls in Brighton are like now. Seagulls, man. Okay. People feed them, and that's fine. But when you live in Brighton and you know that feeding them makes them, they attack. Once, I have Renalia and I give her some bread outside and stuff like that. I'm shitting myself thinking that someone's gonna come down and take my daughter's bread out of her hands, because that's how much they are like that. We were at a park, my mum, my brother-in-law, Spencer's brother, Spencer, Renalia, and I'm chewing these crisps, whatever they were. Oh, came and take it out of my hands. It's fine, we're just not gonna talk about it. So anyway, I'm sat there and I'm like, I know what they're like. It was the scariest thing, sorry. It actually makes me feel sick even thinking about it. So I'm sat there and this seagull comes over to me. He doesn't come over and take something out of my hands. No, he doesn't come over and take something out of my hands. Do you know what he does? He does this. Oh God, sorry, I can't. It's making me feel sick. He opens his mouth, and I've never seen it in my life. It was sort of like one of those birds that feed each other, you know, when the bird comes underneath. So the bird was like this, seagull was like this. Tongue out. It was so thin. Oh, it's making me feel sick. It was so thin, his mouth. I could see down his esophagus. I could see his esophagus, his laryngeal, whatever it was. It was like, he was like this, and he kept doing it. Opening his mouth. It was like pink and red in there, and it was like, sorry. It was so thin around the sides, well, it looks like it was going to snap. Sorry, it looked like something you don't want it to look like. And he was like this. Like this, trying to get something out of my, for me to go, here, hun. No, I legged it. I went, ugh, and legged it. Sorry. Next story. going to meet my friends at the park. I'm on my blob. Me, Spencer, we're taking Renalia to see her friend. We're going to go meet Lou Bailey and Bluebell. And there we are. In Waitrose, because we parked at Waitrose to go and quickly get a little snacks. It's by the park, and we're there. And we're just walking, and Spencer goes, oh, just quickly, before we left, I was wearing a bright white skirt that could see through everything. So I wore these really tiny underwears. Spencer was like, you can see the underwear. I was like, baby, I'm on my period. So I'm wearing this white dress, but I'm also wearing some underwear. And he was like, white's a bit of a risk when you've got a period, Mills. I was like, I know, you don't need to tell me. But in my head, I was like, no, I'm gonna wear these little underwear and it's gonna be fine. Keeps dropping down, sorry, let me pull it down. So then I'm there and we walk into Waitrose. He went, you got something on the back of your skirt. I thought, Renalia, I've sat in some of her food or something in the car. No, blood, 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 blood. Bright white skirt. It's actually on the washing line as we speak, out there, flowing in the wind. And I hope he got the stains out. Anyway, so then Spencer, love him. He's got no sense of urgency. He's just chilling. He's chilling. He's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to go home? Let's go home. And I'm thinking, getting Renalia back in the car and getting her home is a joke. So shall I go home on my own? Yes, I'll go home on my own. But then also I'm thinking, I can't watch the car. Listen to this. So I took my tampon out. Sorry for the too much information. I took my tampon out at home. Then Renalia woke up and I was running around for her. I forgot to put a tampon in. Forgot to put a tampon in. Forgot to put a tampon in. Just go out, hon, with your white knickers and your white skirt without a tampon in. Because I was like, oh, I'm going to do it just before I put my shoes on. And then we were out the door, quickly, got to meet our friends. We were running late, so I was like, no, just running out. Clearly, I forgot to put a tampon in. So then Spencer, he's like, shall I go get you some? And I'm like, yes, please, baby. What does he do? I just see him strolling into the distance. I'd be licking it. He's just strolling. He's like, I'm just going to go get your tampon. Just walking with Renee, and I'm like, hun, do you wanna run? I'm just about to absolutely everywhere. So I went to the toilet, sorted myself out, blah, blah, went home. But can you believe it? No, you can't. Anyway, gonna get in with the actual story time that you're here for now. Sorry if I went off on a tangent. So, this is about 2009. Don't ask me on dates, but I must have been, I'm 29 now, 2009, we're 2022, whatever. I was 17? What was I in 2009? 2020, 2010, 29, take away 13 years. I was 16. So I was 16, 15, 16, and I'd been called for this audition. Oh my God, honestly, the script looked amazing. It was a long script. I got sent it from my agent, and it was at, I think it was in London at Spotlight Studios or something. I can't really remember too much. Anyway, went for the audition. It was for this part in this, it wasn't called Anuba's House at this point. It was a part in a Nickelodeon show. I think it was said that it was going to be taken by a big channel, and I thought either at the time it was Disney Channel or Nickelodeon. It ended up being Nickelodeon, I think. So anyway, long story short, I'm going to try and make it short. Went to the audition and wow, I loved it. It was about a haunted mansion where people or things go missing, and I was the girl next door. I was always, always, always put up for the girl next door. She's pretty, but she's not overly pretty. I'd say plain Jane. I'm taking that. I'm taking that she's the girl next door, because I think girl next doors are hot. I have an older lady next door, so I'm probably not going to say that, but girl next door vibes are hot, aren't they? But my agent always said to me, like, don't wear makeup to auditions. Every audition I went to, everyone's wearing makeup. Everyone. Everyone. I remember once I wore a bit of lip liner and he went mad. He was like, one of the casting directors told me that you're wearing a bit of makeup. And I remember once I went to an open call and he was there and he was like, you're wearing too much makeup. I was like, I have lip liner and Vaseline on. Everyone else here has so much more makeup. And like, back in the day when I was like 15, 16, I loved concealer all over my lips still. Like, I had really thin eyebrows. Like, I didn't really know about makeup the way I do now. Like, obviously, I'm not like a makeup artist, clearly, but you know what works with your face. And I could have put like a little bit of concealer that was like skin toned on and hidden like my dark circles. But back then I was like, he said no makeup. No makeup. Like, I'd put moisturiser on and a bit of Vaseline. Like, looking back now, hun, I reckon I could have got booked for more jobs if I'd have known more about, like, I could have put some like a BB tint on or something. Like, I love my skin. I think I just get dark circles. Like, I love my skin. I don't find that I have to cover anything on my skin. I like wearing makeup, but I've stopped wearing foundation now. Just concealer and bronzer and all those other things, but not concealer, not foundation, but not concealer. But being honest with you, I think I could have made it look like I wasn't wearing any makeup, but still had a bit of makeup on. But anyway, we live and learn. We live and we learn. And now I'm on a YouTube channel where I can wear whatever makeup I want, and most of the time I look like crap, and that's fine. I do, you know, I've got a bit too comfortable with you guys. I really have. Like, I think at the beginning I was like, let's cake on the makeup. Now I'm like, you see me literally when Spencer comes in and shows me his birthday present or my birthday present, and I literally look like I'm on death's door. Like, I look like someone's just dragged me. I've got these dark circles where it looks like mascara's been left on overnight, but no, it's not. She doesn't get dark circles, my mum. She doesn't, but I do. Anyway, so I could have covered myself, but anyway, I didn't. Went for this audition and I loved the script. I loved it. Should I try and find an Anubis House script? I guarantee there's not going to be anyone. Guarantee it. Anubis House. So I think the cast person for the girl I went for was called Anita, but I think she turned out to be called Nina. I think it was Anita, I can't really remember. Oh, House of Anubis, episodes transcripts. No. Here we go. Season 2. Oh, it's copyright protection. It's under a copyright. I'd love to get a script. I wonder if I could go through my old emails. Would I be allowed to do that though? Would I be allowed to do that? I don't even know if I've got my old emails either, because when I changed this management once, I was on like a temporary contract with them and I ended up leaving. I deleted all my old emails because they had complete control over my emails, and I was like, oh, I don't want all my emails for them to be able to see. So I think I deleted all my old emails from my agent, but I'll try and find some. Anyway, so I went for this audition and I came out and I was like, I did so well. But of course, called my parents and was like, it went so badly. And then I got a call back. Buzzing. So then I called my mum and dad. They were like, oh my God, you said it went badly. We don't believe you. I was like the boy that cried wolf, you know, like always like, went really badly, went really well. Do you know what I mean? Although, saying that, I grew up with like very over the top acting, very musical theatre acting. That's what I thought I wanted to go into. But when you're on TV, it is literally this. So I had to really, really dial it back. And sometimes I felt like my acting was the best I'd ever done and I wouldn't get a call back. And then sometimes my acting would be the worst it's ever done. Okay, so let's say it's a script and I'm like running late or something. This was me doing it really badly, and let's say, and they'd love it. Watch this, because it's so minimal. Okay, I'll have to do it to you. You got the time? Wait, even smaller than that. You got the time? Right there. You got the time? I'm holding my phone, of course I'd know the time, Imogen. Let's not do that one. Oh, let's just go with it. Okay, here, I've got my coffee. What's the time? No, that's 2 over the top. That's 2 over the top. What's the time? Yeah, that's it. It's got to be so small, minimal. Like, what's the time? Yeah, in your face. What's the time? That's too much. That's too much with the eyebrows. You got the time? Oh, I'm going to be late. Mum's going to kick off. I guarantee it, she's going to kick off. She's always having to go at me about everything at the moment. I'm fed up with it. It's got to be so small. Whereas me, I'd be like, you got the time? Running late. Mum is going to kick off. She's literally been going mental at me lately. Like, honestly, she's been going mad at me. She's just, everything I do, she just gets in my head like, you know what I mean? She's shouting all the time. See, me, I'm too big. It's too much. So I had to dial it down, and it's literally like your face as you move. If you watch a soap or watch something, please, I guess it's different with Nickelodeon and Anubis House and like Disney Channel, because they are quite extrovert and a little bit more. But like, if you watch a soap soon, please watch a soap. It is so dialed back. It's so pared back. It's like, what's she been talking about me? No, I think that's a bit too much. You heard what Lacey's been saying about you? She's been slagging you off. She's been telling everyone that you slept with Aaron. Whereas me, I'd want to be massive with it, like, Lacey's been chatting shit about you. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I got a call back, and then I got a call back where there was a couple of callbacks, and it was like the 4th callback, and they were like, and they said to my agent they were so interested in me, and I was what they were basing the cast around. I was like, this is a joke. Like, I'm going to be on Nickelodeon. It was massive. I was like so excited by it. They were saying that they were basing all the other characters around me and that I was getting it. I can't remember if I had to do it in an American accent, you know? I cannot remember for the life of me, because I'm thinking now to myself, did I have to do it in an American accent? I'm sure that I had to do it in an American accent. I don't know why that I'm thinking that, because I'm sure the show was meant to be American, because I was thinking in my head I was going to move to America. Oh yeah, I was so sure it was an American show, and I was assuming Nickelodeon, American, like I'm going to move to America. I was like, I'm not going to college, peace out college, I'm going to America. Sound like Colin from Love Actually. But I'm pretty sure I read the first couple of scripts in American. I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. Anyway, so they must have liked me, blah, 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 blah. Then my agent got the call and was like, the show isn't going ahead anymore. They're going to go with a completely American cast. So I was like, right, I didn't get it because obviously I'm not American. That's absolutely fine. So for me, that wasn't really a hard pill to swallow. I was going to say pull to willow. It wasn't a hard pill for me to swallow because I was like, okay, they've gone with an American cast, and I think I had other big casting things coming up anyway. But my agent, again, was very annoyed that I'd got to the final 2 and didn't get it, you know, got to the final whatever it was. I don't know how many it was, but they were very much like, you've got it. So then go so many months later, like I'd say 6 months later, my agent gets a call. Anubis House is going to be back on, but it's a completely American cast, but they want one English girl. So I was like, who's this? Mum, sorry, Angel, I love you, I'll call you back, I will call you back. Otherwise I won't finish this story time, you know, I've got to tell you, Hans. So anyway, so at this point, I was like, it's being reshot, they want me back again, I'm getting it. One English girl. I don't know how the cast actually turned out in the end, I've never watched it, but I did look up earlier. I think the main girl that I went for, I think she became Nina, not Anita, but obviously they wouldn't give you the names in the script anyway. But I think she's American. I think there's a Welsh girl in it, but I think the main girl is American. So obviously I wasn't meant to get it. She's very beautiful as well. Oh my God, she looks like Serena from Gossip Girl. So I definitely wasn't meant to get her because she's unbelievable. I think she might be Spanish, but I think she lives in America. Don't quote me on it. Anyway, so then I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, they're calling me back. So then I actually got a call back and they were like, come to London first. Went to my audition in London, and then I got a further call back and they were like, we want to bring you up to Liverpool. Lime Street Pictures or something. It's where Hollyoaks is set. So they paid my travel. So me, my older brother Jacob, and my dad all went up to go to this Lime Street Pictures. We got a coach, so my dad drove us up there, and then we had to get a coach further on, and then my dad would meet us back for the coach, because I don't think you were allowed to go, I can't really remember it, but I remember being on a coach, because I remember being sat next to this guy called Rob. Rob actually then went on to, Rob Norbury, actually went on to being in Hollyoaks. I think he's in Emmerdale now. I'm not really sure, I don't watch soaps, but I think he is in Emmerdale. I fancied him so much. He was so much older than me. I was like 16. And he was so much older than me, like, yeah, and I fancied him so much, and I spoke to him all day. I was just with him all day, and I never forget it. I borrowed my friend, who turned out to not be my friend's, green jacket. It was a green coat. I can't remember where it was from, it was so expensive. And she lent me that, and I didn't take it off all day, and it was so, so, so hot, I think. And the outfit looked so good with the green coat, but still had no makeup on. All these other girls there looked so much older than me. I looked so young. So then anyway, got there, my older brother and my dad were like cheering me on, like, see you later, like, you've got this. And it was a whole day thing. One boy flew back from tour. He was a dancer on tour with some big act at the time, and I can't remember who, but he'd flown back from America to come to this audition because they were like, this is it. And I don't even think they picked their cast from that audition, because I definitely don't know any of the cast. But then I wouldn't have remembered everyone from the day. Anyway, so we got to the Hollyoaks set, we were at the actual school, and like, you go round by the pond where it's like where all the pub is, and then there was like this skate park where we sat on like this curved bit, and yeah, it was really cool. Anyway, so you sat there all day, and then they were letting people go. And I wasn't let go at the beginning, so I went in and they did you with like 8 different people in the cast. And then they did a scene, and then they made you do like a bit of role play, and it's 8 people, and I guess there was 8, I don't know how many people ended up being in the school, Anubis House, whatever it was, but they made you do different role plays with everyone, but I kept being recalled as this Anita or Nina girl, right? the main character. And then they swapped me once. They went, can you be this girl? So then I swapped, read that script and was doing it. And they were like, no, can you get back into that girl? And I was like, okay, yeah, sweet. And they just kept pulling me around and poking me around. And I was like, fuck, excuse my language, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this. Because like, they kept, and then so many of the girls that I was speaking to were like, okay, they were like, you can go home. Not Natalie, because she definitely wasn't going home. They were like, this girl, you can go home, this girl, you can go home. And I was like, I'm staying. And I remember being with Rob and him being like, you're getting kept, like you're getting kept. And everyone was hyping me up. And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting kept here. And it was a long day. Like I think we had to get there AM very early, and I was there late afternoon, evening. So then there was this one girl there, and every boy was obsessed with her. Every boy. She was unbelievable. I remember speaking to her. She worked at American Apparel, and you know, when the disco pants were all in, and she just looked so fit. Her outfit looked so nice. And I was like, oh my God, you work at American Apparel. Like, you're so pretty and so naturally. She had this beautiful afro hair. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God. Anyway, turns out her name's Natalie Emmanuel. She ended up being cast in Hollyoaks because basically they told us that day, get your act together, guys, because we're not only casting for Anubis House today, we're casting for Hollyoaks. Anyway, Rob ended up getting cast for Hollyoaks, and so did Natalie. She ended up going to no, she didn't go into Game of Thrones, did she? I don't think she went to Game of Thrones. Who's the girl in Game of Thrones? Because, let me just check. Is it Natalie Emmanuel? She went on to Game of Thrones. No, she's amazing. I was next to someone really successful. Sorry, that's my claim to fame. We were both in the same audition for Anubis House. Anyway, so like, get your acts together. You could be cast in Hollyoaks and Anubis House. Anyway, I was like, Rob, how fit is she? And he was like, she's unreal. Like, she's unreal. She's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So naturally beautiful. Had these beautiful freckles like all over her face. And I was just like, oh my God, you're amazing. Anyway, so then I kept getting recast. And there was like 3 of us brunette girls left, but there was so many at the beginning of the day. Not so many, I would say like 14 of us. And there was like 3 left. And then they were like, okay, Imogen Hudson. And I was thinking they were going to call me in. They were like, you can go home now. No, and I walked through the Hollyoaks things and I was like, I just knew that that wasn't the case, because basically they said they were looking for 1 British girl in the end. But I think the main girl's American, so it makes me feel better. And it also makes me feel better because I've got you guys. But yeah, that's how that one turned out. It's actually funny, isn't it? How life just works out. Sorry if these are just random story times. I've just got so many random story times I have, and I feel like they're fun to share, and hopefully they're engaging, and hopefully they're fun to listen to. Anyway, I love you guys. If you want me to do more story times like this, then definitely let me know, and I'm gonna love you, and I'm gonna leave you. Goodbye, my angels. Goodbye. What's meant for you is meant for you in your life. You've got to trust the timing of your life and trust the timing of the universe. Okay, I love you, bye. Sorry.